Imagine walking into a stadium where the smell of cordite from police rifles still lingers in the air. Munich, 1974. It was the most dangerous World Cup ever played, and yet, it gave birth to the most beautiful football the world had ever seen. But the tournament in West Germany was played under a heavy shadow of security and paranoia. The world was divided by the Cold War, and so was the host nation. On the pitch, a revolution was brewing, a tactical explosion that would change the beautiful game forever. Let's open the dossier on Munich, 1974. Enter the Netherlands. They brought a system called total football, organized chaos. Defenders attacked, attackers defended. The players were interchangeable cogs in a brilliant, terrifying orange machine. At the center of it all was Johan Cruyff. He wasn't just a captain, he was the conductor. He saw angles and empty spaces no one else could see. While others played a physical game, the Dutch played three-dimensional chess. They dismantled Brazil. They looked invincible. The world was mesmerized. But in tournament football, being the best doesn't always mean you survive. While the Dutch danced, the host nation was suffocating under a different kind of pressure. The map of Germany wasn't just drawn with ink, it was drawn with barbed wire, concrete, and the Cold War. And fate decided to play a cruel joke, drawing West Germany and communist East Germany into the exact same group. June 22, 1974, Hamburg. It wasn't just a game, it was a proxy war. The East German secret police, the Stasi, carefully selected the 8,000 fans allowed to travel to the West. Every single one was vetted. Spies were everywhere, watching their own people in the stands. On the pitch, the contrast was staggering. The West had superstars, millionaires, and the arrogant genius of Franz Beckenbauer. The East had strict state discipline. The tension inside the stadium was thick enough to cut with a knife. For 77 minutes, it was a brutal, grinding stalemate. And then, Jürgen Sparwasser broke through the lines. He fired the ball into the net. 1-0. The communist bloc erupted. Sparwasser later said, "If my gravestone simply says Hamburg 1974, everyone will know who is buried there." It was a national humiliation for West Germany. But in football, a devastating humiliation can sometimes be the ultimate wake-up call. West Germany survived their humiliation. Led by the pragmatic Kaiser, Franz Beckenbauer, they rebooted the machine and marched to the final. Waiting for them were the invincible Dutch. It was the ultimate dream match. Total football versus pure German efficiency. But World Cup finals are rarely won just on the pitch. They are won in the mind. And the night before the biggest match of their lives, the psychological warfare began. The Dutch team was staying at an isolated hotel in the woods. They felt untouchable. But a German tabloid newspaper, Bild, dropped a psychological bomb. The headline screamed about a secret late-night pool party. Naked girls, champagne, and the Dutch players. Was it true? Or was it a calculated piece of sabotage designed by the German press to destroy the opponent's morale? In the world of 1970s, espionage, nothing was off limits. The damage was done immediately. Johan Cruyff, the mastermind of total football, spent the entire night before the World Cup final on the telephone, desperately trying to explain the situation to his furious wife. The invincible maestro walked out of that hotel completely drained. The Olympiastadion in Munich, the final. It began with an act of pure, breathtaking arrogance. For the first minute, the Dutch passed the ball. 14 passes. Not a single West German player touched it. Cruyff accelerated. A sudden, violent burst of speed into the box. He was brought down. Penalty. Johan Neeskens smashed it down the middle. 1-0. The machine was bleeding. But then, the Dutch made a fatal mistake. They forgot the golden rule of football. Never humiliate the Germans. Instead of finishing them off, they started playing with their food. And the German machine woke up. Cold, ruthless, and efficient. Paul Breitner equalized from the spot. And then, the ultimate predator struck. Gerd Müller. It wasn't beautiful. It was a messy, scrappy turn in the box. But it was lethal. 2-1. Total football was a masterpiece, but German pragmatism was victorious. The artists had lost. The machine lifted the new World Cup. The 1974 World Cup proved that the best team doesn't always win. The Dutch left a legacy that changed football forever, but they left without the gold. But if you thought Munich had political tension, you haven't seen anything yet. Next time, we fly to South America for a tournament played under a military dictatorship. Subscribe to open the next file.